So, good day, everyone. Before we dive into our lessons, let me ask you a question. Have you ever danced to a Korean pop song, watched an American movie, or used a trending TikTok filter from another country? If your answer is yes, then congratulations. You are already part of something much more than you think, something we called global media culture. So, in a world where a video can go viral across continents within seconds, media has become more than just entertainment. It has become a bridge that connects cultures, ideas, and people, shaping the way we see the world and even ourselves. So today, let's explore how media doesn't just inform us, but transform us socially, culturally, and globally. So we have our objectives. First, we analyze how various media drive various forms of global integration, and then it will explain the dynamic between local and global cultural production. And then we have our table of contents. First, the definition of terms, which is explain the dynamic between local and global cultural production, and then global media culture, the evolution of media and globalization, the important impact of media on cultural globalization, global imaginary and global village. The last one is the dynamics of local and global culture. Now, what is global media culture? Why is background knowledge of one's culture important in communication? So before we know about the definition, let's dive back into our previous topic. What is globalization? Globalization is the growing interdependence of the world's economies, cultures, and populations brought about by cross-border trade in goods and services, technology and flows of investment, people, and information. What is media? Media refers to the different means of communication like radio, television, internet, etc. It plays a very important role in shaping human mind. Next is what is culture? Culture defines the way of life for an entire society, unified style of human knowledge, beliefs, and behavior, from which people learn an ability to communicate knowledge of the next generation. So, to recap everything we've discussed, globalization means to connect the world through trade, technology, and communication, right? It turns our planet into one global community. Next is we have media. Means that it serves the bridges that spread information, culture, and ideas across countries, and whether through TV, film, or social media. Lastly, we have culture, means that is what defines us, our beliefs, values, and traditions that make each nation unique. So these three, globalization, media, culture, are deeply connected. So globalization makes the exchange possible, media delivers the message, and culture is what we share and learn from each other. So, however, as we open ourselves to the world, we must never forget that our roots, knowing and understanding our own culture backgrounds, helps us communicate respectfully and preserve our identity in a globalized world. So, in short, globalization connects us, media communicate for us, and culture defines who we are. So now, we'll talk about global media culture. So, what is global media culture? Global media culture explores the relationship between the media, culture, and globalization. This topic approaches part and current challenges concerning international communication and explores and problematizes the power of media representation. Also, media cultures take part in the process of globalization, including how they challenge existing cultures and create new and alternative symbolic and cultural communities. So, in simple terms, the topic helps us understand how the media, like social media, TV, movies, and the internet, connect people from different parts of the world, influences their culture, and shapes how we see ourselves. So global media culture means that how media culture and globalization work together. Like for globalization, it connects people and country through technology, right? And for media, it spread information through entertainment across borders. For culture, it what makes us unique, our beliefs, values, costumes, and the way of life. So when these three meet, they create a shared global culture where people can enjoy the same music, fashion, trends, and ideas even if they live thousands of kilometers apart. But global media culture also examines the challenges that comes with this connection, both in the past and today. So in the past, communication between countries was slow and limited. But now, with social media, information spreads in seconds. However, this create new challenges such as misinformation. Like fake news can spread globally before it's verified. So one of my example for that is the current situation we experienced, which is the earthquake in Bogo City. During the earthquake, there was a fake news that ang Sisalix daw is like ang tubig dito nahubas, which is fake dito siya, and it greatly affect people na nakadagdag og stress nila. So that is also one of the challenges when it comes to kanang social media, which is the misinformation. Next is cultural misunderstanding. This means that symbols or gestures may mean something different in other culture, or media bias when the media favors certain nations or perspectives over others. So, for example, Western news outlet often highlights the negative aspects of Asian countries, but ignore their success stories. So this creates an unequal global image where some voices are louder than others. So, how media cultures take part in globalization. So, media cultures, meaning the different ways people use and create media, play a big role in globalization, as what per said here in this slide. So they don't just spread existing cultures, they also challenge them and create new ones. So like for example, K-pop and K-drama have spread Korean culture around the world, right? Influencing fashion, music, and language. At the same time, fans from other countries create their own fan cultures online using hashtags, fan art, and global events. And that is basically well known in Twitter, or also we know as X. So also Filipino vloggers and TikTok creators are now reaching global audiences, sharing our humor, values, and creativity. So this challenges the old idea that only Western media dominates global entertainment. So online communities like gaming groups, fandoms, and content creators build new symbolic and cultural communities. So these people may come from different countries, but they share the same digital culture and identity. So through these examples, we can see how global media cultures allows cultures to blend, evolve, and inspire one another, forming new ways of expression and connection. So to conclude it, global media culture help us understand how media connects people, shapes cultures, and influences globalization. So it shows us the power of media to unite, inform, and entertain, but also it's also its ability to misrepresent, exclude, or control narratives. So as media users, we must be responsible and aware, appreciating the beauty of global connection while staying proud of our own culture and identity. So in the end, media culture isn't just about watching or posting, it's about understanding, respecting, and creating meaning together in a world. To conclude, global media culture help us understand how media connects people, shapes culture, and influences globalization. It also shows us the power of media to unite, inform, and entertain, but also its ability to misrepresent global, exclude, or control narrative. So, as media users, we must be responsible and aware, appreciating the beauty of global connection while staying proud of our own culture and identity. So, in the end, global media culture isn't just about watching or posting, it's about understanding, respecting, and creating meaning together in a connected world. That's all. Thank you.
Um, Hi everyone, my name is Kishimi Brada from BSN Math 1A1 from the group number of Group 7. So, I would be the one to tackle the evolution of media globalization. So, what comes to your mind when we say the evolution of media globalization? Exactly. When we say the evolution of media globalization, this is how media and globalization evolve in generation or in year by year. How did they change and how they contextualize or how they connected to us in terms of media. So, so the first one is oral communication. So it is so familiar to you when you say oral communication, diba? Because it allowed sharing of information. Language allowed humans to communicate and cooperate. When we use oral communication, this is how we use every day on our lives, the daily routine. Even when we have chicas and our friends, that is also a oral communication because we allow ourselves to interact as much as more information that we knew or that we know. It is also that we use a language because here in the Philippines we use usually Tagalog and Bisaya. So those are the language that we use in part of communicating to our friends or even to our family so that we can understand each other. The way the information that we give us or the way you give the information to your friends or even yourself. So that is oral communication. This is how we use it every day of our lives. Second is a script. Script is so familiar to us. Why? Because we know that script is written on a document or in a paper because script allowed human to communicate over a larger space and much longer time. So what does it mean? When we say script, because script can help us expand our knowledge. It can help us communicate over a larger space. Because in script, we don't have to think more often. Why? Because we have a paper inside of us, or we have a paper that we are holding it to cooperate or to communicate without having disabled what do we call this, how people would hear us. Dili sila nga magkanabis sila kadungog, makaibaw sila dayon because we have a script in our hands. So that is script. This is what we use when we expand our knowledge and we have a good communication in terms of larger space or sa audience nito nga mga layo. So that we don't have to like saying yan. So that is script. Third is printing press. So printing press, when I search that on Google, dili jud kayo familiar na to ang katungan na as a picture. If you have time, you can search it on Google. So printing press is just like a machine or a computer. But sa ilang side or sa ilang century is lahi ilaha. It's just like using a wood kanang printing press. So it's kanang kuan siya like vague siya tanawon. So printing press, this is where information revolution started. So wala pa to yung mga newspapers, so wala pa radio. This is what they use the printing press and are able to share ideas. It transforms social institutions such as schools, churches, governments, and more. So this is printing press. Next is electronic media. So in electronic media, this is familiar sa diba? Electronic gani electricity siya gikan. So radio and television are more likely to use a part of this media. Why? Number one, radio. Radio is quickly became a global medium. When we say global medium, when we say global medium, this is a mass communication that spans national borders. So mauni siyang gigamit sa tanan-tanan, including traditional outlets like television, radio. So kaning radio, this is what we used. So kanang what we use just like our grandpa and grandmas. They use radio to interact, to listen the information. Because apart from wala sila TV sa una, they have radio because radio is internal or in a whole world yun ng radio. Reaching distant region, di ba? Distant regions. Because radio is useful to us when we listen on what the happenings of the world. Second is television. Television is also part of electronic media because television is considered as the most powerful and pervasive mass media. When we say pervasive, maon na siyang mga nay vision or makita na to. So when we say pervasive, an experience that uses sensors. So when we say sensors, kani, when what we use right now is a cell phone, di ba? We also, naano siya yung mga radiation, maon niya itong makita in front of us. Because in television, it brought together the visual sa atong makita sa mga videos, sa mga series, sa mga movies, or even sa mga balita. And audio as well. Power of the film with the accessibility of ratio. So in electronic media, guys, this is what we use in terms of listening and watching a lot of information that we have to know what happenings of the world. So this is the electronic media. So the radio and television, both of them giving an important idea what we're gonna use or what we would be gonna use in terms of watching or knowing what is the happenings of the world. So that is the electronic media. So script also, many of the earlier media such as phones and televisions are now considered digital media. So that's all of my report. Thank you. And
Okay, so hello and good day everyone. I am Angel Escaran, your last reporter for today's lesson. Okay, so let's move on to the dynamics of local and global culture. So, the reporter one already defined what is culture, diba? So, culture, no, I must say, it is everywhere, no? Kay, personally, as a person or as a human being of course, I have my own culture. My family has their own culture. And also, we as a family have our own culture. And everyone, every one of us have our different and unique cultures that we practice. So, in culture, it's about the practices, the religion, the things that we do, the clothing, the music, the language, and festivals that we go through or go to, and so much more, no? So, and actually, as far as I can remember, no, kanisa culture naa siya two kinds. So, culture can be perceived in two ways. We have the tangible and the intangible. Mga magunitan na to or dili magunitan. So, culture is so pretty broad. So, it's not just simple kung unsay practices, but it's not just that. It can be more to that. So, when we say dynamics of, okay, so when we say dynamics of local and global culture, no, kay ang kaning mga local culture mo ni ang mga traditions, practices, beliefs, and values specific to a particular region or community. So, unsa man kanang lahi-lahitag kanang mga culture sa every region, every community. Unsa may culture sa Cebu, unsa may culture sa diri sa Davao, unsa may culture diri sa when moadto tag Manila, di ba? We have different cultures, Jude. So it is what makes a place unique. And when we say global culture, it also refers to cultural aspects that have spread worldwide. So kani mas broad ni siya sa local. Kay global, worldwide naman, international naman siya. So it often through media, technology, and international business. So there are things nga mga kanang global culture nga atong nahibaw-an or nahibaw-an, no, which is through mga social media platforms, mga TV shows. So there are things nga like example of that is mga popular music, di ba? Mga fashion trends or mga fast food chains that you can find in many countries. So if ato siyang i-combine the dynamics of local and global culture, when we say dynamics, it is kaninga part is about how these two interact. So ang kaning sila duha, their interaction is not just one way, it's a two-way process. Because local cultures can also influence global culture, and global culture can also influence local culture. Okay, global and local cultural products. So, what is global product mean? So, it is defined as are those products that are marketed internationally under the same brand name, features, and specifications across countries. So, these are the things, usually products or brands that you can find and buy in many different countries. So they are marketed the same way everywhere. So here's our example of that is the McDonald's. Now you can find McDonald's restaurants all over the world, and they mostly sell the same types of food. McChicken, McFloat, McSandwich, di ba? Bisan asa ka mo adto nga McDonald's naa na siya, but also nasa yung mga foods nga naa sa other countries pero wala sa ato nga McDonald's nga branch. And also nasa tay mga foods nga lahi and wala sad sa other countries. So the next example is the Coca-Cola. It's also a drink. This drink is sold in almost every country, and the taste and the look of the bottle are usually the same, no? Napadere mismo. Opo. So, kaning Coca-Cola, no, kay bisag asa pa ka mo buy, no, aning Coca-Cola, pareha gyapon siya og lami. Mapa canned, Coca-Cola canned, or plastic bottle or glass bottle, no. And also the last example is the Apple, mga Apple products like iPhones and mga MacBooks are sold globally with the same design and features. So unsa man nato pag ila kung Apple products ba siya, so nana sila yung design or logo nga Apple nga gibite sa or mga or camera niya is madali rin siya identify if it's Apple nga brand. Okay, so what is local product? Okay, so what is local product mean? So it is defined as the goods and series such as arts, literatures, architectures, museum, movies, music, etc. that showcase the history and information which belong to the country's cultural heritage. So these are things like art, no? Stories, buildings, movies, music, and other things that show off a country's history and culture. So they help people understand and appreciate what makes a place special. So let's say for example, kani nga logo, unsa man ni siya nga logo? So it is 17. Oh, favorite K-pop boy group ni Shine. It is a globally famous K-pop group based in South Korea. So mao na ang kanang culture sa South Korea, no? Ilang famous culture nila is the K-pop, mga K-pop group. So bias ako wala Hoshi. And ang bias ni Shine is kay si Jonghan. So let me know if kinsa yung bias. Comment down below. So, next example is the Mutya ng Section E. So, it is a Filipino television series na released in 2024. So, kani siya na well-known sa ni siya nga kanang it made from the Philippines ay ang opening intro ani katong sa tunga dance oy nga na famous sa TikTok. Tunga do sa tunga. Ba? Katong dance nga katong sino siya ang lakas nga nga na diba na famous sa TikTok, and many foreign people nga ang ni kuanan na ni nakisabay. So last example, we have the museum, no? Museum preserve and display artifacts and artworks that tell the story of a place, history, and culture. So basically, kaning mga local culture products are the unique things that represent a country's culture and heritage. And also, there are 3 perspectives on global cultural flows. Natay 3. So let's first define the cultural differentialism. So it defined as the fact that cultures are essentially different and are only superficially affected by global flows. It also involves barriers that prevent flows that serve to make cultures more aligned. Cultures tend to remain stubbornly different from one another. So, cultures are very different, no? Okay. Cultural differentialism, from the word differentialism, we are all different. We have different culture, and global things don't really change that. Cultures stay mostly the same. So basically, we are all different and we're staying that way. Dapat we should not forget our own culture. Bahalag nakakabauta sa uban culture, pero dapat dili na to kanang i-forget atong culture kay when we forget our own culture kay mawagtangan ta og sense of identity, and kaya we should be stay that way. And second, we have the cultural hybridization. So it is defined as a process by which a cultural element blends into another culture by modifying the elements to fit cultural norms. It is an integration of local and global cultures. A key concept is glocalization, or the interpenetration of the global and local, resulting in unique outcomes in different geographic areas. So, kaning cultural hybridization, cultures mix together and create something new. So it's like mixing paint colors to make a new color. So it often involves kaning glocalization nga word. Kaning glocalization, nagmerge ni siya sa word nga globalization and localization. So where global things are changed to fit local tastes. So basically, we're mixing it up and making something new. Okay, the last one we have the cultural convergence. So it is defined as approach stresses homogeneity introduced by globalization. Cultures are deemed to be radically altered by strong flows, which cultural imperialism happens when one culture imposes itself on and intends to destroy at least parts of another culture. So it is coined from globalization and localization, as I said earlier, no, is a rather new concept brought about by the increased frequency of contact among cultures. And it reinforces the fact that local cultures are not weak, static, or fixed. They are built and understood anew each day in a globalized world. So, ang kaning cultural convergence, from the word converge, no, many mga cultures, like mga strong global influences, can change cultures a lot, and sometimes one culture can even take over and destroy parts of another culture. So basically, we are all becoming the same, nag-merge. So question, what's the difference man between convergence and hybridization? Okay, mo nagitag katong hybridization, matong mixing together, mixing different cultures together to make something new. Like, let's say for example, we have this kaning town. Kaning town is nagmake siya og mga famous siya sa, known siya sa kanang pizza maker na siya, pizza maker, but na si mga local nga community kan nag-add sila og mga spices and ingredients sa kanang nga town to make their pizza to make it taste different and special to their town. So nagmix sila. So mixing different cultures together to make something new. And while sa katong kaning convergence, mao ni ang becoming the same. Okay. Mao ni sila ang everyone starts doing the same things. Like let's say for example, no, ang there we have this small town, and kaning nga small town used to have its own special dances and songs, and now everyone just watches the same TV shows and does the dances from those shows. So ang medium nga na kuan siya is mga television na nakita man siya sa television. So nakuha na to, na known na to, and ato sang gi-apply ang ilang cultures. So mao na becoming the same, like everyone start doing the same things sa ilang nakita. So the difference of them is ang convergence kay makalose siya og our own culture, and ang hybridization is mixing cultures to make something new. And when we say localization, gani, this is a mix of globalization and localization. It's a new idea that says local cultures aren't weak or stuck in the past. They are always changing and being rebuilt in today's global world para maka-adapt sila. So local cultures are strong and always adapting to the global world. That would be all, and thank you for listening.
Good day everyone, so I am Julian Giffer, your second to the last reporter of Group 7. So before I begin my discussions, I know that all you know that my other group mates are already done discussing the global media culture and the evolution of media culture. So now I will discuss to you about the important impacts of media on cultural globalization. So first, the media provide an extensive transnational transmission of cultural products. Second, they contribute to the formation of communicative network and social structure. In short, the media plays a crucial role in spreading cultural products across borders. It helps create communication networks and social structures worldwide. So I will give one example. Think about the Korean pop musics, in short K-pop, like Blackpink, BTS, Twice, and Hypen. Kana sila, example na sila sa mga K-pop. So, through the internet or social media, nakaila ta nila, nakadiscover ta sa ilang mga like kanang ganahan sila, like discover ta sa ilang mga talents through sa social media and internet, and nakaila na nato sila ng grupo as a Korean pop music. So, through the internet and social media, K-pop has become a global phenomenon. Tungod ana, na-influence ta sa ilang mga fashions, dances, and cultural worldwide. So next is the global imaginary and global village. So, global imaginary is the globe itself as an imagined community. So, ang kanilang global imaginary and global village, kana-impact po din sila sa media and cultural globalization. Because the global imaginary is globe itself as an imagined community. So, in short, ang global imaginary is the idea that we can imagine the entire world as a single community. Next is the global before ko proceed sa global village, mo sa akong example sa global imaginary. So, example is the Olympics or the FIFA World Cup. So, considered how people around the world nga naka-felt sila, connected sila during sa event sa Olympics. It's because even though they are from different countries, like for example, na ako dito sa Philippines, tapos sila sila sa Singapore, Japan, Australia, Thailand, nga. Pero they felt connected because through the social media, like mga na-posting, mga broadcasting, live broadcast about sa Olympics or FIFA World Cup. Because nag-share sila og sense of global community and common experience because of media, through social media, through the TV, broadcasting, live broadcast, tungod naka-same sila or nagka-sense sila og common experiences. Experience sila ba nga common sila, same ilang gitanaw, even though they're from different country. Next is the global village. So, global village is the world considered as a single community linked telecommunications. So sa global village in short, sa global village is the concept of the world being interconnected through telecommunications. Unsa man yung mga telecommunications. So for examples is Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Tungod aning mga platforms, peoples can connect to each other even though they're from far away from each other. So you can tungod sa tsingani dali na ka maka-communicate even though sa imong katabi kay tagalagyo pa na sila, taga-asa pa na sila sa kalibutan. Maka-communicate din kanila easily because of the Facebook or Twitter. Like mura sila nag-share sila ba nga mura gani sila duol sila pero ilang distance from each other kay sig-asa na sila. Like for examples, naka diri sa Philippines or ikaw naka diri sa Philippines tapos naka LDR couple baron sa laing gawas through Facebook, Twitter, Instagram or TikTok, maka-communicate na kanila even though layo sila sa imuha. Mao na siya ang example sa global village. So, that's the end of my discussions. I hope everyone learn about the impacts of media and cultural globalization and global imaginary and global village. Thank you. That's all.